Hey people, I want to show you the other way I like to make character illustrations in Gravit. This time I'm using shapes and the freehand shaping tool to make the shapes bigger and expand them to exactly the shape that I want of my reference image. So let's start fresh, I'll show you. So this is my reference image pulled from Gravit, and I'm going to lock it and make sure it's locked so it can't move it around or select it accidentally. And I'm just going to start with the head. Make an oval, like right on top of the head. And the idea is that it's not going to fit exactly the way the head looks or you want it to look. So use this freehand shaping tool to expand it. And the way it works is you click and drag. You click and drag from within the shape that you created, outside the shape you created, around the edges of your reference, and then end back inside that shape that you created, and it's expanding the shape. Let's do it again for his chin and maybe this little part that I forgot. So this works pretty well to make like free form shapes. You're basically just tracing, but you're enlarging or shrinking into shapes. Like if you went too far, you could click outside of that shape and then drag within the shape along that part that you want to cut. You can pretty quickly add to and remove from shapes. Problem with this is it makes way too many anchor points and can get a little choppy. So to smooth everything out, this is my trick. You go modify, path, simplify, path. And that'll delete a bunch of anchor points according to your tolerance. I like to put it around 35. And then you can see with the sub-select tool, it deleted a bunch of those anchor points. And now it's a little bit more manageable to go in here and move around the anchor points. Again, the less anchor points you have, the better your design is going to be, the cleaner it's going to look. So that looks okay for my head. I'm going to do basically the same thing for the whole rest of the body. I'm just going to start with like big rectangle, right? And expand it with the freehand shaping tool. So that was selected. Yeah. So if it's selected and you click within that selected shape and then drag outside of it, and then along the edges of your reference image, you should be expanding that shape. And this is nice and forgiving because if you go too far, you can just cut away with the same tool. Whoops. Just trying to move up with the hand tool. Shoulders, I'm going to come right across. I know the head is going to overlap this body in a second. Take your time with this. I am rushing to get through this in a 15-minute video. But you should definitely take your time. If you're tracing, there's no excuse for going carefully and making it look nice. I was going to cut away. Sometimes this happens and it gets annoying. I just do little pieces, cut them away until they disappear. All right. Go around his hand as quickly as possible without making it look extremely terrible. No, I lost a finger. All right, so hopefully you get the point. I do have to speed this up for the video. So I'm just gonna make like a mitten shape. All right, so you should do that like a lot nicer than I just did. But again, freehand shaping tool used to expand shapes. You click within the shape and then drag outside the shape and along your reference. You're expanding the shape. You also have to end back within the shape that you started in. Boom. Might be too much, might be too little. You're definitely going to have to make like adjustments to anchor points. But you should know how to do that by now. Anyways, so that's the whole thing. It's not terrible, actually. And I'm just gonna do that trick where I go path, modify path, simplify path. 35 is my magic number. And it does delete a bunch of anchor points to make them a little bit more manageable. So then it's all about like cutting this up and like detailing the costume. So what you can do, if it's just like a solid color still, you can remove some of the opacity temporarily. And that way you can like cut this into different pieces. So let me try to do that with the knife tool. So let me make sure it's selected just with the regular selection tool and hit the knife tool. Hold down Option, click once, then click again, and then click again. I think that made a cut right there. So let's try that over here. Even try to curve it. Oh, that made a cut. So I'm clicking and dragging to make, while holding Option or Alt to make a direction handle, and then I can make a curved cut. So yeah, now hopefully this is looking pretty good. I have just his pants cut out, and I can sample the color of his pants. Blue. This should be reddish, right? Okay. And what is boots? We can shift click both of those and make them red, right? Oh, that's not a good enough red for me. My OCD is kicking in. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so anyways, that's the good bottom of Spider-Man already. So let's fix up the top of Spider-Man. I want to try to like cut out these little blue armpits that he's got going on. So I'm gonna make sure that's selected. Again, I'm just using the knife tool, holding down Option, and then like clicking and adding anchor points. I can do this a bunch of times. So once it does cut, it's not like you're going to be able to like change that anchor points, joints, and still maintain everything. So you do have to be a little bit more careful with the knife tool. But yeah, it's going to be good enough for me for right now. Yeah, that made a cut, and I bet you I can make another one and then turn both of these blue. So I'm going to try it. Hold down Option, clicking anchor points for this armpit cutout. Awesome. This is looking okay. All right, so I'm going to select that one, hold down Shift, select the other one, choose a color. Now I choose a color. And then this part, right? That's his shirt. I'm just going to pick that color. Whoa, that looks pretty good. I'm impressed with myself. All right, so now let's do the head. Let's make the head there. The head should be in front of everything. So I'm going to put that up in the layers palette. And just for the sake of fun, give everything a border. Right, there we go. So hopefully you're kind of getting the idea. Oh, these don't have a border. Border. What was the other border at? Shoot. So you gotta make all the borders consistent. So hopefully these don't glitch now. Let's see this. Oh, okay. Come on. Select everything. Trash the borders. Give everything a new border. The same consistent border over everything. 3 points. All right. Yeah. Hopefully this is an option for you for making characters. Again, if you want to like see what's happening underneath, so you can get maybe some more details, you can select it and lower the opacity, and now you see dude's eyes. So yeah, you can keep going, and use other techniques. I like to just do this for Spider-Man's eyes. Make a shape or a circle, cut it in half, delete the top half, make the fill a white, and shrink it into place. Right, and duplicate it, of course. Command C, Command V, flip it and reverse it. There we go. Spider-Man is happening. That's a pretty good character illustration for less than 15 minutes. Is a vector illustration in less than 15 minutes. Yeah, hope this helps. Hope that you can figure out how to use the different shapes and just making free form shapes with the freehand shaping tool. And then maybe even cutting those pieces and coloring them differently just to make character illustrations.